Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew, and I'm back with Chapter 2 of Beyond Recovery, a book I wrote about my personal experience transitioning from recovery to recreating and redefining, remaking myself. And back in 2017, I guess that was my 5th or 6th year sobriety. Anyway, if you have gone about 6 months to a year sober or addiction free or whatever you want to call it, in recovery for 6 months to a year, this book might offer some insight or be helpful. I believe it's my charge and my assignment to share this information and make sure it's public, so that's what I'm doing. Chapter 2 of Beyond Recovery: Orientation, Disorientation, Reorientation. The challenge at hand was to reprogram my mind, to choose how to use my mental faculties with intention. If you are like me, your mind may have been programmed to believe that you are a consumer of some sort and not a creator. You may have been programmed to believe that there may not be enough money, love, time, attention to go around. I was taught by observation that God would provide just enough to get by. Now I know that it was no mistake, that's exactly what I received. That's what I believed in. That's what I received. I began to do myself a favor and expect something huge, something life-changing. When I was younger, I would expect miracles, but on a tiny level. If you've ever been at a financial bottom, a $100 bill on some days could be considered a miracle. $100 bill. If you have a pocket full of $100 bills, a miracle might be more like $63,147. I don't know where I came up with that. I began to realize that my beliefs about God and what I believed to be true about myself, paired with expectations placed on the beliefs, determined the size of miracle or immense act of kindness or overwhelming joy that I could feel or experience, that I was eligible for. If I lost you during that, belief plus expectation equals reality and is equal to the faith or fear. And that's still pretty complicated. Believing in something, plus expecting a God of abundance. I believe in a God of abundance now. I expect abundance. That equals abundance eventually. It is equal to the faith or fear. In other words, if I fear a God of lack, then I will experience a God of lack. If I faith a God of abundance, so your beliefs do play a huge part in your receptivity and making you eligible for things, for blessings. If you can only see yourself getting a girlfriend, you'll have a tough time getting married. If you can only see yourself having $10,000, it's going to be very difficult for you to become a millionaire. Infinite supply is only limited by our tiny perspective. Belief and expectation are the real keys here. Meditated and prayed about enough, and they will set the body and mind into motion to achieve whatever it is in the most harmonious way with your spiritual self and your spiritual source. The most valuable things on earth are ideas. You can use them to invent things, write books, write songs, create new business ideas, dream up an iPhone, calculate how to get to the moon. The list goes on. My point is, you already have a mind that's capable of creating these ideas. I already have a mind that's capable of creating brand new ideas. A God of just enough or a God of more than enough. Should you take the limits off the dream, you will begin to have and embrace these new ideas. Our minds operate on such a complex level, we still have a tough time comprehending everything it does. The computers we use are modeled after or made in the image. I like that phrasing. Computers are made in the image of our minds. Our minds would make a supercomputer look like a joke. If you check the weather on your phone or laptop every day for 4 days at 8:30 a.m., you shouldn't be surprised to see it already in the browser or already loaded on the 5th day. Our brains function in a very similar method. It is by this method I decided I could create new habits and thoughts and patterns. I had made a mistake in the past of waking up and letting my central processing unit or mind search for www.heartbroken.com or lack.com or depression or anxiety.com. A mentor of mine, Steve Jamison, in Water Valley, gave me some advice during our mentorship. After listening to me, he simply said I should try to focus on the good things, that God was like the exact opposite of all the things I was thinking about and dwelling on. In an attempt to do that, I realized I was going to have to manually insist that my mind and spirit stay focused on love.com, joy.com, healing.com, prosperity.com, giving.com. For the first time ever, I began to say my own name in the same sentence with words like prosperous, happy, strong, amazing, etc. It was foreign to me. It felt weird to talk about prosperous Andrew or happy Andrew or strong Andrew. I simply insisted manually until the habit was formed of going on a hunt for wonderful blessings. This habit eventually became my new paradigm and ultimately led to my new identity. Being grateful for the love, joy, abundance, and other wonderful things I already had radiated and amplified and multiplied more into my immediate and distant future. I had been experiencing the exact opposite before the change in perspective and recognizing the thought pattern being the source. The thoughts, dear Brutus, the thoughts. The thoughts were what was going ahead of me and destroying my future and my present. My thoughts from the past were destroying the time I had at the moment. Now I'd like to talk just a bit about cybernetics. Cybernetics is defined as the science of communications and automatic control systems in both machines and living things. Your mind contains a highly effective cybernetic device. You have worked with many other cybernetic devices in your life already. A thermostat, autopilot, cruise control, heat-seeking missiles are just a few examples of cybernetic devices. If we compare the mind to a thermostat for a moment, I think solutions should become evident in an area that is troubling us. My mind as a thermostat is now set to happiness, joy, abundance. It used to be set to depression, anxiety, doubt, worry, fear, struggle, poverty. You cannot get courage from applying these thoughts and actions of fear. You cannot get courage from applying thoughts of action and fear. Thoughts and actions of fear. You cannot become prosperous from applying thoughts and actions of poverty. If I wanted to be prosperous, I had to begin to think about it, talk about it, meditate on it, pray about it. But prosperity, not save me from this poverty. Father, give me some prosperity. It's I know it's tiny, but it's huge. It is evident, then, that our ruling mental state, is what determines what our mind, body, and soul are interested in achieving or being in harmony with. My thought process used to be something along the lines of a daily basis. I would wake up to very little hope. I would usually hope there was a cup of coffee and a hot shower before I had to struggle through another day. I hope I'm lucky enough to have a good cup of coffee and a shower before I have to go suffer through another strenuous day at my uncomfortable job that doesn't actually meet all my needs and brings me no joy. I'm not sure why you don't care about me, God. Why am I so poor? Why does my job have to be so hard? Why am I so miserable? Why am I so in debt? Then I became aware that I could think for myself instead of letting the TV, radio, my boss, my friends, my coworker, my parents, or anyone else tell me who I was and what I could expect from life. I began to look for the good, and what I was receiving wasn't good, so I decided to ask the same questions and think similar thoughts, just from a different point of view. So I replaced that thought pattern manually for 90 days. Sounds like a lot. It really wasn't that big of a deal. 90 days, I would force thoughts of, I am so grateful. I always have a nice cup of coffee and a hot shower before work. I'm so blessed to have such a good and prosperous job that I can enjoy and can do easily with excellence. I know you love me, God. I know you're blessing me. How can I be more abundant and prosperous? How can I be better at my job? How can I experience more joy, happiness, and peace? How can I be a financial blessing to others? Now, you cannot struggle with your finances if you're blessing other people financially. This skips it just skips you ahead. I want to bless other people financially, Father. Oh, okay. I think God answers that. I was asking the same questions in an empowering manner. Doors began to open. New opportunities revealed themselves. I began to immediately receive different and encouraging results. Immediately. For me, this was like the missing key or a piece of the puzzle. I was finally able to focus my energy and attention on things I actually wanted instead of replaying all the things that made my life so uncomfortable. All right, I'm going to stop there for today. And I thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in, for the next few videos, I'm really just going to read the material to try to get through it. And then I'm going to start some 10-minute videos about deeper looks at the insights in there. I'm benefiting and learning from getting to go back over the material, and I'm really excited to finally finish this assignment and get this information available to the public. Thanks. I hope someone's listening. I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you next time. Or you'll see me, or whatever, you get it.